Hi, this is Maria. I'm going to show you how I made this monthly layout using Procreate and what I call the overlay technique. So I'm going to create the image in Procreate and overlay it into Goodnotes here. So let's get started. This is Goodnotes 5. I'm using Jenny Gollan Designs Natural DigiBujo 2019, which just means the cover is the brown. It comes in different colors. Does have working links, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to click my eraser tool and clear the page so we can start from scratch. This is my original February page. I'm going to click the little up arrow here, export this page, save the image, and export right into my camera roll. Okay. Now I'm going to open my Procreate, click the plus arrow, screen size, just to give me a nice big canvas. I'm going to click my wrench tool, add, insert photo, and I'm going to pick up that last image that we just saved. Now doing it this way rather than doing a snapshot, a screenshot, it gives me the entire journal without the goodies from Goodnotes itself, all that stuff that goes on the top. I didn't have to crop anything, it just fits in here very well. Alright, so I do things this way because it makes sizing back into Goodnotes easier. Alright, so now that I have this image, I'm going to add a new layer here, and I'm going to pull up my photos to work side by side. I like to work side by side. You could use your wrench tool and insert photos from here, or insert a file if you have your images saved somewhere else. I like to work side by side from the photo roll. So Jenny has put out some really neat papers. So let me make sure I'm in a new layer here. I'm going to pick one of these fancy papers and drag it over. Okay, and that is all that I'm using today. So now, using my arrow tool is automatically selected, I'm simply going to make it fit the size of my journal page. The inside, you see how it's got some layers there? I'm going to make it fit. Deselect, I need to see the rest of my journal. Back to my arrow. So now I've covered my journal, and now I want to uncover some of it, so I'm going to first go to my layers, click the N, and I'm going to lower the opacity so I can see behind it. Now you can leave your image just like this. Just by lowering the opacity you can see behind it, but I wanted to take mine one step further, so I'm going to lower the opacity just so I can see, so I can do my next step. I'm going to click the selector tool in rectangle mode, and I'm going to draw a rectangle where my grid, my monthly grid is. And we're going to have that be a different color. So now I have the inside selected. I'm going to take 3 fingers and swipe, and I'm going to cut and paste into a new layer. Okay, so now the outside is in one layer and the inside is in another layer. So what I want the outside layer at full opacity, okay, and the inside layer where I can see my layer. Now this is personal preference. You could do it backwards, you could not do this at all. It is completely up to you. But now I've covered my days, so I'm going to make sure I'm in my outer layer, eraser tool. I'm picking a standard Procreate brush, an airbrush, a soft airbrush in the airbrushes library. Make sure my tool is not too big, and I'm simply going to light pressure here and expose the days. Okay, Just gives it a kind of a soft look. I know pretty much where my days are, so I'm starting in the center of my screen here, center of my square, and I'm just finding the words. And the more I press, the more I erase with this eraser tool. Okay. I'm just going to find all my days and just expose what I want to see there. I'm going to expose the rest of that little thumbprint. I know there's an index over here, and the month of February, the word is in here. And I also know that this particular journal has links for the weeks on this side. So I know, I use this journal a lot, so I know where my links are, so I know where to erase. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to go back to my layers. I'm going to turn off my grid layer, turn off the background layer, and I'm going to save, wrench tool, save PNG into my camera roll. Turning off those layers will make sure that my image saves transparent without that white background. Back into Goodnotes. I'm going to click my little images icon here, and the last one from my camera roll is here. It is also here in Moments. The last one that I just saved is this. I'm going to tap and crop just to get some of this gray stuff out of there. Click Done. And it is transparent, so my journal will show right through. And my sizing is pretty darn close because I used the original journal as my template. Whoops. And just pick a pen tool to drop it into place. And there, if it's off just a little bit, tap and edit, and you can move it again. Put it right where you want it, and drop. Now I'm just going to click my text tool. I'm going to click a black ink. I'm going to start typing. Just because I always add my little tag there, from Instagram. If you go to lasso, make sure images is off. You can easily move your text with the lasso. You can also change your color of your text from the lasso. I like the lasso quite a bit. So there is my layout in Goodnotes 5, and it was made in Procreate with one image that I purchased from an Etsy shop. Thanks for watching.